G'day guys, we're finally back with our old TPG laptop. When we first got this, we had no idea what was wrong with it or what it was missing. And in part 1, we went through everything and found out it had a dead optical drive and it was missing its hard drive. After several attempts of trying to get Windows XP installed on it, we finally got something working when the hard drive actually fully failed. I wasn't too surprised since hard drives of this era are prone to failure, so we ended the video there and had to wait for our replacement hard drive to arrive. I was originally planning on using a compact flash card for the hard drive, since it would be way faster than these old mechanical drives. But since this laptop isn't mine, and I am just fixing it up for a friend, they said they didn't want a compact flash card since it wouldn't be authentic, and instead asked if I could source another mechanical hard drive from the same time period. So that is exactly what we did. Turning it over, we can slide the hard drive caddy out. We are using an old Hitachi 20 gig hard drive. This is obviously an older mini IDE drive and not a SATA drive. After installing our replacement hard drive, we ended up using the same method of installing Windows XP as last time, which involved writing plop boot manager to the hard drive using our cheap USB to IDE adapter, and then using plop to boot our USB Windows XP installer. Once Windows XP had finished installing, we powered it off, and that is pretty much where we're up to. Let's flip it over, get it all plugged in, and take a look and see how good TPG's first laptop actually was. That was loud. So we're at the Windows XP desktop. Once again, I have just done a fresh install and then I powered it straight off. We'll start by going to Control Panel. I have switched to Classic View. We'll go to System. So you can see here I went with Windows XP Professional instead of the Home Edition that originally came with it. And obviously Service Pack 3. I'm guessing May His Digital World is the person that uploaded the Windows XP ISO. And you can see we're using the mobile AMD Athlon XP 2600 Plus. Running at only half a gig. And we also have half a gig of RAM. That is pretty old. Go over to Hardware, Device Manager, and we'll see what drivers we're missing. So out of the box, not too bad. Looks like our game port had issues installing. I'm not too worried about that though. We obviously do want to get the graphics driver. I don't have a dial-up connection, but I'll try and grab the modem driver as well. And I think we'll also try and get the Ethernet driver, just so we've got all drivers. Thankfully, the trackpad did work out of the box, and so did sound. It is incredibly loud considering it's only on 50%. That is like deafening. This would have been really good as a music player back in the day. I'll turn it all the way up so you can hear the bing. That is really, really loud. I'll install the drivers and we'll come back. So you can see we were able to get all drivers installed, which was good. If you're curious how I actually found out what drivers I needed, you can just right click on any of your devices, even if they're not detected. Click Properties, go to Details, change it to Hardware ID, and you just want to copy and paste the very top entry into Google. That's usually enough to find the correct driver. Even if it doesn't give you a direct download link, it should hopefully tell you what the device is. So in this case, Google should say it's the Radeon Integrated Graphics 320M, and from there, hopefully you could find the correct driver manually. So now we've installed all the drivers, we should reset our PC once more just for good measure. You'll also notice a network icon now in the system tray. Now we've finished restarting, we'll double check our resolution. So properties, settings, and yep, 1280 by 800 seems to be the optimal resolution. We'll keep it at 32-bit obviously. I'm guessing the second monitor will be our S-Video out, so that is pretty interesting. We'll open up Task Manager, just take a look at what's there. It is using 90 meg of page file, which is interesting. We do have a heap of free RAM. Not too sure why it's using the page file already. And you can see Windows XP does idle pretty low, unlike Windows 11. I don't think we'll bother trying online browsing on this, just because it wouldn't be really safe, and I don't think it's going to perform very well. But instead, we'll try some local media playback, and then maybe some games. And we're back. As you can see, I have installed a few game demos, mainly ones from around the same time period as this laptop. So Doom 3, this was mentioned in the Whirlpool thread, saying that it technically did run, but really, really choppy. So that'll be interesting to try. Command & Conquer Renegade, I played hours of this demo back in the day. If I remember correctly, you only got the one multiplayer map, and naturally the Halo 1 trial. We've also got Midtown Madness 2 and Red Alert 2, which are both bangers. Before we try any games, I think we'll take a look at the Windows XP tour. We'll do the animated tour.
Welcome to Windows XP from Microsoft. To begin the tour, click any selection.
Well, I'm already sold just from that intro. Best for business, safe and easy personal computing, digital media. Oh, wait, it's gone.
With Windows XP, unlock the exciting world of digital media at home, at work, and on the optimized for games and DVDs. The latest DirectX technology gives you the enhanced power, performance, and reliability, friendly new screens, simplified menus, and a whole lot more. Discover Windows XP's fresh, streamlined design. Get acquainted with key tasks and basic commands.
That wasn't as interesting as I was hoping. Still pretty neat though. It sort of looks like we've got a little bit of screen burn in. I'm not sure if that's coming across on camera. So that is interesting. It's definitely there. It could also be a low res background. Actually, it looks like it is part of the grass, like some dead twigs or something. Freaked me out for a second. So we'll start off with some media playback. I installed VLC, but it does not open. It's missing a DLL. I don't think I'll bother getting it. Instead, we'll try Windows Media Player. This is what I used back in the day anyway. We never used VLC. Go next, uncheck everything. We'll associate everything, and it's Media Player 9. So here it is here. Go File, Open. Once again, we've got Big Buck Bunny. It's definitely not going to play any of the 1080s, but we'll try Xvid 480. And if you weren't aware, DivX and Xvid were both really popular video codecs from back in the day. So this is pretty much period accurate. It's not playing the video, but it is playing the audio. So by default, we don't have an Xvid codec, which was a popular issue back then. I remember you used to have to get codec packs and install them, and there were quite a lot of viruses disguised as codec packs. We might try MPEG-2, does not like that at all. WMV, it should play it, but it is stuttering. It's not too bad, it's obviously really, really low frame rate, but I'm impressed how well it actually looks. It's obviously unwatchable, but still very impressive. It does not detect H.264. We'll try anyway, but yeah, nah, it doesn't know. So it doesn't recognize it, we'll click yes, and it couldn't play it. So no surprises there. Unfortunately, the built-in DVD reader does not work, so we can't actually test any DVDs. I could use my USB DVD player, but that's not really exciting. We'll close this off, and I think we'll jump straight into some games. We'll start with Nesticle. This is the DOS version. It's an NES emulator. It's got the bleeding hand if it actually loads. Got a black screen, doesn't look good. The CPU fans have ramped up, but nothing seems to be happening. I press the Windows key and we've got junk on the desktop. Not looking good. See if we can open up Task Manager and Nesticle. I was able to get out of it, but it did not. Actually, I haven't closed it. I clicked cancel. There we go. So I've closed out of Nesticle, but the desktop is still all buggy. We'll see if we can go down to Properties. Yep. Settings. We'll change the resolution. Apply, and no. Oh, that seemed to fix it. So Nesticle, no good. We'll try No Dollar Game Boy. Again, this is the DOS version. This is the demo. So you can get unlimited black and white gameplay, but only 5 minutes of color gameplay. If you weren't aware, this was a super popular Game Boy emulator way back in the day. We'll open, find it, maybe menu. See, there it is, Pokemon Gold. And not enough memory. This is the DOS version, so not too surprised with that. We'll try the batch file just in case it does anything different, but I'm pretty sure it is just a shortcut. Unless I can force it into black and white. There we go. So it should be stock black and white. Double check it's still saved. Yep, it did. We'll load Pokemon Gold again, but nah, same issue. So old DOS emulator's not so good. We'll jump into something a bit more modern. We'll start with the Halo trial, I think. I accept everything. I was never really a fan of Halo back in the day. I just couldn't get into it. That is really loud. I will just lower the volume a little bit. These speakers are extremely loud. That is really impressive. There we go. Not sure if I want to sit through a bunch of story. Might try multiplayer. See if we can play with bots. I'm not sure if it'll actually start with no players though. Oh, it did. It's playing it quite smoothly. There's a few lag spikes, but overall, not bad at all. How do you crouch? Controls crouch. That's how you teabag. I can't drive? About to be the other side. Yes. Yeah, it's definitely playable. Halo 1 would have worked perfectly back in the day then, it looks like. Not a bad little laptop just for that. We'll quit out of this. You can't actually skip this. It won't let me get out of it. It looks like you do have to watch it every time you quit. This is a really, really long ad. The 30-second end ad was pretty annoying. I guess it was a demo, but still. Next we'll try Renegade, Command & Conquer Renegade. It's from around the same time as Halo, so I think it should run about the same, but we'll see. So the only option we can pick is multiplayer, which is fine. We'll go, can't even do practice. We'll go LAN. Can I do internet? You can only pick GameSpy, host. So I'm not connected obviously, but I wonder if I can abort? No. I'm sure this was the one I used to play back in the day, just single player. Well, the skirmish map. For some reason it won't let me do practice. We might leave Renegade there, unfortunately. There must be a different demo that does let you play the one skirmish map. If you weren't aware, this was basically a first-person version of Command & Conquer. I think we'll try the big boy, Doom 3. Again, this is just the demo. Apparently, with all the settings turned down to the lowest, people were getting around 10 frames a second back in the day. So that's our goal. The CPU fan has ramped up to the max. It does say not for resale. So it's choppy already. The mouse cursor is pretty laggy. Go options, maybe system. So it's already on low, 64480. Yeah, this looks like it already is on the lowest settings. Advanced maybe? I turn all of that off. No shadows, nothing. Alright, so it looks like now it's on the lowest settings. We'll apply the changes. Actually, can we change the resolution down any lower? Nah, 64480 is the lowest. The background music sounds a lot like Tool, which is interesting. Go new game. Recruit. A little bit of a long loading screen, but that's fine. Can we skip all the cutscenes? So we're finally in the game, and sure enough, it's a slideshow.
Welcome to Mars. All new arrivals need to check in at reception.
Just for reference, this game was considered a AAA title, and it had just come out when this laptop was released. So that would be like trying to run Cyberpunk on a cheap Celeron laptop these days. It's just not going to perform very well, and it has actually crashed. It was impressive that it ran at all, but yeah, I would say not really playable. Having said that, being able to play a AAA title at all, even if it's incredibly laggy, is still pretty impressive for a budget laptop of this time period. We'll try something a bit easier to run, Midtown Madness 2. I probably played hundreds of hours of this back in the day. I'm pretty sure I unlocked all the cars. This isn't obviously my original version. It looks good. Got the loading screen. So we've made our driver profile. We'll go races, and we'll keep it on cruise, so we can drive around the city. And I think we'll do San Francisco for the big Golden Gate Bridge. We'll do noon, and we might do raining, just to see if this laptop can handle it. We'll keep all the densities at default. We might lower the cops a little bit. We'll go select vehicle. Don't think I have that many unlocked. Yeah, so all the good ones are locked. I think there's a racing car. There it is. We'll stick with the Mini Cooper and see if it actually runs.
It's as slick as a used car salesman out there.
So we're in the game. Doesn't seem too bad. The cops already got me. This actually runs really well. I'm impressed with how well it actually works. I would class Midtown Madness 2 as a massive win. This would have been great to play back in the day as well. This was a fairly popular game. We'll see what settings we're using. So graphics, it's all on very high. That is impressive. I'm not sure if this is really optimized or if it is just an easier to run one. We'll quit out of it though. I think to round it off, we'll try some Red Alert 2. So it has loaded, but we are in a little window as you can see. We'll take a look at the options. Everything's set to high, that's fine. It looks like we can't change the settings here. I think there was an external program that you had to run to change the display settings, but that's fine. We'll keep it as is, and hopefully it does go full screen in the actual game. We'll go single player, skirmish. I guess I'm called Tanya, that's fine. We'll go as random just to keep it interesting. Short game, that seems fine. Good start. Once again, the CPU fan has ramped all the way up. This seems perfectly fine. It seems full speed. We might try and find a battle just to see how well it performs under load. It seems fine. It's not lagging at all. Everything's running full speed. I am getting slaughtered, but that's fine. Yeah, I would say Red Alert 2 definitely playable. I think they're going to come and get some retaliation though, so I might quit out. Overall, I would say this is definitely a decent laptop from the time period. I can see why everyone online at the time was saying this was probably the best value laptop you could get. I still find it funny how they released a much newer model for around the same price only a few weeks after pre-orders opened for this model. I guess you would be pretty annoyed if you pre-ordered this model as soon as it was announced. It's got a nice bright screen, there's no dead pixels on mine, which is great. That was another common complaint I noticed on the Whirlpool forums, so I'm not sure if it was blown out of proportion and only a few models actually had dead pixels, or if we just got really lucky with this specific laptop. It ran all of the popular games from around that time period, so Halo 1, Red Alert 2, Midtown Madness 2, they all ran perfectly. Doom 3, which was a AAA title at the time, didn't run very well at all, but it did technically play, so that was still pretty impressive. I think my friend's gonna be really happy with this one. I think it'll play everything he wants it for. I will secretly clone the hard drive to a compact flash card, just for when this one inevitably fails, he'll at least be able to continue playing with it without too much hassle. I'll have a chat with him when I give it back to him and see if he wants me to try and find a compatible optical drive, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to want to bother with it. I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.